Matt and Josh Sell Comics, Marvel News of the Week. Some
What's
big news this week, I guess.
Yeah, I would say so.
Um,
Very excited. Probably the most excited I've been in a little while for.
since San Diego Comic Con and uh, Downey Jr.'s coming back.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts. I was on top of a mountain when
Are
that
you
happened.
excited though about
I
that?
still got the notification. I was just like more surprised, if
Yeah.
anything. Is that the best way to put it? I would say.
Well, we're gonna talk about
Um,
why it's a good idea, and
hmm,
then later on we'll talk about why it's a bad idea. Okay. So
that's fun.
first, one of the better bad guys or villains that the Marvel Universe has had, the MCU, is
Very
Ultron.
much agree.
James Spader appeared in Avengers of Ultron, playing the renowned villain. Looks like he's coming back. We haven't seen the supervillain known as Ultron since Avengers: Age of Ultron, and fans have been wondering if the evil AI might make his return to the MCU ever since. Now, THR, which is a Hollywood Reporter, is reporting that James Spader is set to reprise the role for the planned Disney Plus Vision series, which is being described as the third part of a trilogy that started with WandaVision and continues in Agatha all along. Ultron was created by Tony Stark and Bruce
Oh,
Banner to
okay.
be part of a peacekeeping program that was meant to put a shield around the Earth as a defense against invasion, but the AI ended up turning against humanity and was ultimately destroyed by his son Vision towards the end of Age of Ultron. How he will be introduced remains to be seen. We found out earlier this year that Vision show had been revamped, with Star Trek Picard executive producer Terry Matalas now on board as showrunner. The
Woo.
show is currently on track for a 2026 premiere. Metalis' work on Picard is said to have greatly impressed the top brass of the studio. Uh, Marvel chief Kevin Feige, who is a huge Star Trek fan, was really impressed with what he did with season 3, which
Mm-hmm.
season 3 was amazing. It
That's what I
had,
heard.
good villain, good fan service, but also gave everyone something to do for the old
Mm-hmm.
cast.
Yes.
Really good. Um,
Damn.
Yeah, so the finale of WandaVision revealed that Vision had the Vision we had been spending time with over the course of the season was actually one of Wanda's constructs, but the real White Vision was rebuilt by Sword and programmed to track down and kill the Scarlet Witch. This version of the character away to parts unknown towards the end of the episode after declaring himself to be the true Vision. So I assume they're just gonna say he was hidden in part of old Vision, and when they rebuilt it, maybe White Vision recreates him, or he gets out somehow. I don't know. Like, has he been hiding in the internet? Remember the end? They had to destroy all his bots because
Yeah.
they didn't want him
Yeah.
to escape, right? But of course he escaped, right?
Are we talking about Ultron? Or are we talking
Yeah,
about
Ultron.
Ultron?
Like, was he
Um,
hidden in a part of dead Vision, and when they resurrected White Vision, he got unleashed or something, or started to come back? I
I
don't
would
know.
say that's a great theory. My one of my theories is that I think they're just gonna say that he was like waiting in the web,
The
um
internets.
or he was like when he escaped he was like scouring a place to be safe, I guess, and then maybe he got stuck in an offline network or something and he
Hmm.
couldn't get back online or something because of obviously one of the events that happened in one of the movies or TV shows. um
Yeah.
and for some reason I had another theory on the top of my head and I just forgot it. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, very happy, very very
Yeah,
happy.
James Spader's great. Loved him in Stargate's one of my favorite sci-fi series. Obviously, he was in the first movie, but even that I really liked. The Office, Robert California. He was the best thing about that after Steve Carell left. Even though those were the weakest seasons of all of them.
Yes.
And yeah, he was good in Ultron. I know a lot of people like Blacklist, although it went apparently off the rails after a couple seasons. But
Yeah, it got
he's
pretty
good in
crazy from my
Blacklist.
understanding.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he was on that show for what, like 9 seasons, eight
something like that.
seasons, or
Yeah.
something. Very long
Okay.
time.
Moving on. 5 reasons why Robert Downey Jr. should be playing Doctor Doom. We'll see if we agree. Okay.
Yes.
So
Okay.
one, it's not predictable. It's not predictable. I would say it was pretty predictable that they would try and get him back.
Yeah.
Cillian Murphy, Giancarlo Esposito, Mads Mikkelsen, plenty of big names.
Should have been Mads.
were suggested
Should have been.
for Doom by
100%.
fans that they were all as predictable and safe as the last bet. Safe as the last, like Bryan Cranston being the most popular choice to play Lex Luthor because he was bald from Breaking Bad at the time. We're not saying that they would have done a great job, but Downey is exciting, out of the box choice. No one saw it coming. I don't know that it's an out of the box choice. I reject your premise.
No.
Marvel Studios and Sarah Finn have always had an eye for casting these characters, and we see no reason why the same won't be the case for Doom. And love or hate the fact that Downey has already played Iron Man, there's no denying the Comic-Con announcement got fans talking in a way that they wouldn't have had Marvel Studios unmasked an actor constantly cast as bad guys on screen.
Well, in that case, they should have picked somebody that is in the good light, and they want to like give him chops. Anyway, it's fun. It's a fun choice. But
Like
I
if
don't.
they,
It's about the money, baby.
if they had cast like Tom Cruise, would have been a bigger pop. I think so. He never
It probably wouldn't have been a
villains.
bigger. Yeah, it probably wouldn't have been a bigger pop. There's a couple, like very few, I think, that would have had
Sure.
bigger
George Clooney, maybe.
pops. Clooney, that would have been nuts.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy. I'm trying to think of like someone
Who never
else. Someone
plays
with like
villains.
yeah, like caliber. And like notoriety. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a lot of
it's
these
gotta have-
older
it's
a
gotta
lot
have
of these
two things
older
to shock people.
well, a lot of and as well, like a lot of these older actors
Yeah.
do not have the same pull that they once had.
No,
like
that's true.
you know what I mean? Brad Pitt. Well, what man? Just recently that movie, right? Whatever the fuck it's called, him and Clooney.
Yeah.
Oh my
Wolf,
God.
That looks like
Yeah.
it looks like it's gonna be great.
It
But it's
looks
Apple TV,
extremely.
right? So
Yeah, it looks extremely charming,
Yeah.
and they bungled the release
what do you mean?
because it was supposed to come out in theaters,
Oh, was it?
and then they're like, "Uh-oh, no one wants to go see this movie," which
Well,
is
no one wants to
100%
go see really any movie except Deadpool
Sure.
and Wolverine. Like that's just the business right now.
Okay, here's the thing:
Yes.
I don't want to spend $15 a ticket
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not going to see something explode
Mm-hmm.
or something like super fucked up and artsy that I want to see on like the big screen.
Well,
If it's some of those things,
the cost requires spectacle at this point, not art movies
Fuck.
and dramas and
I went to go see Alien.
Yeah.
$42 for 2 tickets
Yeah.
for Ultra AVX.
yeah. Yeah, the prices are in. Oh yeah, the movie
It's
studios
bonkers.
wonder why they're not making money. Okay,
Like, so
without
silly.
the Iron Man baggage, no one would complain. Well, sure, but the
Silly point. Keep going.
Downey is a phenomenal actor that can do Doom justice. Yes, I would agree. With
Yes, sure.
Needs must, huh? The plan had been for Jonathan Majors' Kang the Conqueror to be multiverse Saga's Big Bad. His introduction in Loki was effective, but Marvel Studios made some missteps, leaving Rama Tut out of Moon Knight and showcasing the Conqueror in the Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania. This was a
Waspy.
blunder even before Major's legal issue. Marvel was considering moving away from Kang. When they're so deep into the saga and Bob Iger wants the Avengers back in theaters, who better to pivot than Doom? There weren't many other options. An evil Iron Man from Earth 838, King Thanos, a recast Kang. We already that none of those options are as exciting as Doctor Doom, particularly even when casual fans know that villain is a very big deal. Would there have been a bigger bad, or would there have been a good villain if you're not going to do the Kang thing for 2 Avengers movies? Who would it be, other than Doom? You can't do Apocalypse yet. The
Can't do
Beyonders kind of
Galactus.
probably too much inside baseball. If you had no one from the Mutant first, who would
I'm
have
trying to
been?
think like space wise.
Yeah, maybe Nihilus from the Negative Zone, a Fantastic Four villain.
Maybe.
Although he's like, he's a giant cricket. Might have been weird.
It'd be a little weird, but still. I'm
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone in this has a suggestion in the comments after
Yeah,
watching this
please
video.
enlighten us.
Lastly, there's an interesting multiverse story to be told.
Uh,
Sure.
yeah, sure.
But we're getting a little long in the tooth of the multiverse at this point.
I think what a lot of people are expecting is for him to be a like an evil variant. Um, I think we talked about this before. Like they adopt him or something, and he takes up the name or something. I
Yeah.
think they're gonna go a little deeper than that.
Oh.
I think it's gonna be like I don't even know. Like Tony Stark's mom maybe ends up with
Victor's mom?
yeah. Well, no, Victor's dad. I guess.
Sorry,
That would.
yeah, right.
Oh yeah. Well, Victor's mom, and Tony's mom. Yeah. I mean, it could.
Hey.
That would be all right. One for the new one for the ages. I think they're gonna go a lot deeper than that. I think they're gonna like mix like something together where he is gonna be like, you know, some type of weird concoction. I don't think they're gonna make him straight like Victor Von Doom. I think it's gonna be like a weird.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it, to be honest. But you get my drift.
Yeah.
So is there an interesting story to be told there? Perhaps. Have they been noted to be able to show proper multiverse? Oh. Maybe.
Are you saying? Well, yeah. Spider-Man: No Way Home was a good multiverse movie.
Yeah, but
And then
for
Deadpool.
good reason.
Those are the two best multiverse movies. I guess.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange was in at number 3.
I mean, I really liked Loki. I enjoyed Loki.
Oh yeah, as a series, sure. I wasn't.
Yeah. No, I just meant in general, but yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Talking about Spider-Man: No Way Home. Spider-Man rumored production updates reveal when we can expect the movie to swing into theaters. It's a little hard to believe that Sony Marvel Studios still haven't officially confirmed that a 4th Spider-Man movie is on the way. When you consider the amount of rumors been doing the rounds over the past year or so, fans were hoping for some updates at SDCC. But it can be easy to forget that any Spidey news would come from the Sony camp first, so a big Hollywood announcement was always unlikely. According to Daniel Rickman, production is indeed scheduled to get underway next year, and he reckons the movie will arrive in theaters between Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Rickman feels it's a good indication that Spider-Man 4 will be another multiverse. Yay. We've heard conflicting reports in that regard, but if accurate, it sounds like Sony's Tom Rothman, who, by the way, killed the X-Men franchise. He used to be at Fox, and he was the one making the decisions on X-Men. That's why,
Really?
that's why Matthew Vaughn didn't come back, is because he wanted to rush the next X-Men movie for Apocalypse. And they went...
Really?
Yeah, because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Previous rumors have claimed that Rothman and Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige have had some disagreements when it comes to the overall plot, with the latter hoping to scale the multiverse elements back for a smaller story. Rothman, meanwhile, said to want to capitalize on No Way Home's success by bringing Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back as their respective takes on Peter Parker. For speculating, we'd say Garfield and Maguire would be more likely to return for Secret Wars, but that doesn't mean the next solo Spidey movie won't lay the groundwork. No Way Home director John Watts will not return to helm the next film. Several filmmakers have been in talks to take over, including Justin Lin, Drew Goddard, and Adil El Arbi, and Bilal Falal, as who's done Miss Marvel and Batgirl. Holland will, of course, be back as Spidey, along with Zendaya as MJ, but the actor is believed to be growing wary of playing the iconic hero. So this could be his final solo outing as a wall-crawler, as he will most certainly be part of the upcoming Avengers films. I know he's probably growing weary of playing Spider-Man, but his other movies and shows haven't done so well.
I'm a little bit worried about this, to be honest with you.
Like
the way that
4 or him leaving?
Yeah. Spider-Man 4. Definitely, like, the way it's come about, like, I feel like it was being discussed and tried to finalize during the strike, like before the strike was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Then the strike happened and it went on hold.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when they came back, I think some like people's minds were kind of made up that like they wanted this to be a multiverse story. Obviously, like Sony side.
Yeah.
And they push for that, and I feel like they're still fighting Marvel on it, and I'm a little bit worried because I think it's gonna be like a weird like double of like them trying to make it grounded, but it's gonna have this weird like multiverseness of it, like almost like Spider Verse,
Yeah.
which it was extremely grounded, but it was a multiverse story.
Right.
Um, little worried.
Yeah,
Little
like I don't
worried.
trust Sony. I mean, I don't believe for a second that Sony came up with the premise for all three of those movies. It was Kevin Feige, and they're just like, okay, we'll trust you. We want to change this a little bit,
Hmm.
um, but like, haven't all three Spider-Man movies made over $1 billion each? Like, do they really need to
No,
worry about?
I thought the first two only made like 800, 700, 800. Am I wrong?
I don't know. Let's
Okay.
see.
Take a
Oh,
peek.
and I won the prices right on on Wolverine. It's 1.265, I think now.
Yeah.
Okay, Spider-Man Far From Home. Spider-Man Homecoming. Wait, where's the other one? Far From Home, Homecoming. Oh, there's No Way Home. Okay, so yeah, Far From Home made $1.1 billion. Well, really
Wow.
1.2 with home box office. Spider-Man
Shit.
Homecoming made. Oh, you're right. The first one only made 878 million.
Yeah.
Close to a
That's
billion with home market. Interesting. And then No Way Home made 2 billion. Yeah, I can kind of. I mean, it has been growing, whereas sequels usually do the opposite. They make less money for the most part.
yeah.
Um,
I don't think it's gonna make. Honestly, they do another multiverse story.
who could you bring back to get that?
It'll make a billion. It'll make a fucking billion.
Like maybe throw Wolverine in it. But will it make 2 billion with Maguire and Garfield back again? I feel like that kind of they've burst that bubble.
Yeah, they can't do Doctor Strange again.
Yeah.
So like, what do? I mean, I would hope that maybe we get lucky and Daredevil will lay a little bit of spicy groundwork for New
Yeah.
York, and we'll get a little taste, and maybe we'll get some
I would
intermingling.
take
I
Spider-Man
would
Daredevil
fucking
against Kingpin. Let's go.
I would take that. It's what we want.
Yeah.
Like how it's not hard,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I think they teased a lot of fucking Spider-Man villains in No Way Home when they did the circle around the fucking Statue of Liberty. I think that's where
Right.
they were. And there was all those purple figures. Obviously, there was so many.
Yeah.
Like there were so fucking many. And like obviously you saw, what was it, like Rhino, Scorpion, fuck, there was like 2 or 3 other ones that I remember looking and like, oh, that's blah blah blah. Like,
Right.
yeah, man. It's they have so many options. I feel like they might rush it and it might get a little bungled. I'm worried. Let's see.
Okay. Moving on. Wonder Man, which had been canceled and not canceled, and then weird pandemic strike.
Yeah,
no,
this is
not pandemic,
crazy.
Strike happened,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, we're not resuming, and then they, I don't know, who knows. Anyways, apparently it's done filming,
Wow.
or almost complete post production. It appears
Damn.
work on Wonder Man is almost finished. A strong indication it will be released on Disney Plus in 2025, alongside Daredevil, Born Again, and Ironheart. While there's no mention of the series at Comic-Con or D23, showrunner Andrew Guest has shared a picture of himself and Daniel Cretton working on a final mix playback in person at Skywalker Ranch. No additional details were shared, but it's clear Marvel Studios is no longer going to announce or release small screen projects before they're ready. Ironheart, for example, wrapped filming all the way back in 2022. God damn.
Wow.
Wow, that is 2 years ago.
Yeah.
By the time it comes out, it'll be 3 years.
By the time it comes
Since
out,
it
it'll be
wrapped.
3 years.
Um,
That's crazy, dude.
Aquaman
That's
Lost
crazy.
Kingdom star Yahya Abdul Mateen II will play Wonder Man, while Demetrius Gross has been cast as brother, classic Avengers villain, the Grim Reaper. Yeah, I'm happy to watch that on television. I like Mateen, despite him being in Aquaman movies. I think he's a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Ben Kingsley back, and Bob Odenkirk I think is also in it. So like, can't really go wrong with the acting.
It'll be interesting to see. Yeah.
Okay,
Obviously
looks
regarding
like
Hollywood
Channing
stuff. Yeah, it'll be funny.
Tatum is sticking around. I think we all want that. Do we want that?
We'll see what.
I want it.
Yeah, I want it. I do want it. Maybe if he just dials the Cajun back a tiny
No, that's the part of the charm.
bit, just a tiny bit, a little
Channing
bit, just so I can
Tatum
understand what he's saying.
was given an opportunity to take on the role of Gambit, originally missing out on playing the heroic mutant when Disney acquired 20th Century Fox assets and brought the studio's X-Men franchise to an end. Tatum made his debut as Remy LeBeau in The Void, joining Elektra Blade and X-23 as members of the Resistance. Wade Wilson and Logan encountered when they were stranded by Mr. Paradox. Earlier today, Ryan Reynolds shared a deleted scene from the movie which strongly hinted that Gambit will make his way to Earth 616 via a Marvel Sparkle Circle at some point. Tatum has spoken about how much he'd love the chance to reprise his role, but is it really something the majority of fans want to see? This take on Gambit had a comic-accurate costume, powers, and accent. Tatum seemed to be having a blast in the role, but the majority of scenes were played for laughs, and while some greatly enjoyed his turn as the Raging Cajun, others seem to feel Tatum simply isn't the best fit for this character after seeing him in action. What are you talking about? Those people are nuts. He had the moves. He was exploding people's chests with cards.
Yeah, he was. He had the moves.
Yeah. I would like to see it. Plus,
I would like to see it. I think everybody would like to see it.
Like this is with what Ryan Reynolds did with Deadpool he's a great Deadpool because he loves being that character. I think if you give Tatum more of a serious, he can play it up. He hasn't had a lot of serious roles, but he was great at Foxcatcher.
Yeah, so he was really good.
He can bring it for acting chops.
I think he can bring it. Before, maybe not. But now,
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The craft has been honed.
Let us know if you want a different Gambit. Rumor: Vision Disney Plus series could feature members of the West Coast Avengers.
I saw this rumor. This is so good.
Spicy. Originally got word
tasty.
that Avengers Age of Ultron star James Spader is set to return. And the trade report strongly hinted that Elizabeth Olsen will also reprise her WandaVision role as Wanda Maximoff.
Yeah.
Daniel Rickman followed up by claiming that Olsen was a lock for the Marvel project that will film in 2025. And mentioned that the Vision show will have elements of West Coast Avengers. Now, this group is reporting that members of the WCA might feature in the WandaVision spinoff. This chapter of Earth's Mightiest Heroes was formed by Hawkeye in the 80s, while numerous members have come and gone over the years. The original lineup was Vision, Mockingbird, Wonder Man, Tigra, and Iron Man, who was Rhodey in armor. If this is accurate, it obviously suggests that the groundwork will be laid for the team's formations down the line, possibly even a West Coast Avengers movie or series. I don't know that you could do a movie of them.
No.
But like a series, sure. And also, you could lay the groundwork in Wonder Man too. Like,
yes.
You know, because that series could have some hints to it, and then I don't know, post-credit scene in the last episode, and then leading into WandaVision the following year.
Yeah.
Or no, Vision, sorry, the following year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so good news all around. Okay, turn to comics, because some of us like that.
Wow.
Star Wars The Battle of Jakku comics will fill in one of the biggest gaps between the original and sequel series.
Oh.
So...
This is tasty.
Yeah, this has kind of actually been a problem. I think it's been a problem. Everyone's too...
Okay.
I don't know if everyone's too afraid to do it, or they're not allowed. I don't know. But we really have not got a lot... I'm not sure we've really gotten any stories outside of in between. So Mando takes place after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Wait, does it? When's the timeline for that?
No, I thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah. After Return of the
A
Jedi,
few
but
years.
before.
It's a few years after.
Yeah, but not.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
9 ABY. First two seasons take more or less 9 years after A New Hope, 5 years after Return of the Jedi. Okay, so we really haven't got a lot of
Okay, yeah, 5 years
stories between that, especially in the comics for sure. They've gone back and done the High Republic and done a ton of stories with that, with New Adventures and a couple of volumes of the High Republic.
Yeah.
And some solo series of different Jedi, but we really haven't gotten anything past Mando. Even in during Rey's time, there hasn't really been any comics to do that as well.
Right.
But now we're getting one. Star Wars Battle of Jakku comics will fill one of the biggest gaps between the original and sequel trilogies. This October, a new era of Star Wars comic book storytelling takes off in Star Wars The Battle of Jakku, written by acclaimed and award-winning author Alex Segura, who wrote Edge of Spider-Verse, and illustrated by a team of superstar artists including Leonard Kirk, Stefano Raffaella, Jethro Morales, and Luke Ross. The story will be told across 3 limited series: Insurgency Rising, Republic Under Siege, and Last Stand. They allowed to take The Last Stand. Set after Return of the Jedi, the saga will be centered around never before told final moments of the Galactic Civil War. First introduced in Star Wars The Force Awakens as Rey scavenged amongst the wreckage, the Battle of Jakku was a pivotal turning point for the galaxy. On the sandy dunes of Jakku, the scattered forces of the Empire made their desperate last stand after their secret base was discovered by the Rebellion, who were determined to destroy them once and for all so the New Republic could now thrive. Hold on a second. So we haven't had this in comic form, but we already had it, if I'm remembering it correctly. There was a trilogy called the Aftermath Trilogy, which had the Battle of Jakku in the last book. It was written by... who was it written by? Star Wars. It was really good. Chuck Wendig. Yeah, so...
Chucky.
Let's see. So I'm pretty sure Battle of
Sweet
Jakku
Chuck.
was in the last book. Spoilers. Life, Debt, Empire's End. Yeah. 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 So it's already been done in novel form. But I guess they're bringing it to comic book form.
Comic form, yeah.
Do we have any? No, we don't. Well, I guess those are covers.
Oh.
So we're gonna have 3 different parts with 4 issues each, starting in October.
Fun.
There's some cool covers there, actually.
Yeah, there are some cool covers there.
Like that one.
That one, dude. I was just gonna say that one. Oh my god, that one. The one in the top right-hand corner.
This one.
Yeah.
I like that one too, actually.
Man, even the bottom left.
With the Admiral Akbar.
Yeah, I like the one with the rebels symbol too. The second from the middle.
Oh yeah, with Mon Mothma.
That one's cool. Yeah.
And/or comic accurate actor from Mon Mothma. Mon Mothma. Okay, moving on.
Mom. Mom Martha.
When do we get and/or season 2? Marvel has revealed 8 gorgeous
Soon.
new variant covers, featuring artwork by Marvel Studios head of visual development Ryan Menerding. Spider-Man, Hulk, Moon Knight, and more are given the spotlight beginning next month. New line of variant covers will provide us with a breathtaking glimpse into one of the key creative forces behind the design and look of the MCU. So wait, is this a book? All the variant covers pull from his long career from Marvel Studios, stretching all the way back to the early days of 2008. The pieces come straight from a book called Marvel Studios: The Art of Ryan Meinerding, an upcoming art book arriving October 1st. So do we get some pictures? Okay, we'll get some shots here. It's The Art of Marvel Studios.
Pretty good. That's
That
amazing.
Vision one's good. Oh, I love that Thanos one.
Wow, that one's really good. Ooh, that one's decent.
Avengers Assemble.
It's a good Hulk one. It looks a little ladylike. Oh, that
Moon
Moon
Knight
Knight
one's great.
one's dope.
Okay, so those go on sale in. Oh wait, one already went on sale yesterday for
Oh,
Immortal Thor 15.
nice.
I didn't. You know what? I should have looked at the local LCS if they had that version.
Matt?
Oh. Anyways, finally, if you want to work for Marvel, don't expect a raise. Just saying. Jen Bartel is an Eisner Award-winning cover artist, but she recently stopped illustrating her eye-catching covers for Marvel's comics She-Hulk. Now the artist has set the record straight. Marvel Comics has long come under fire for failing to properly compensate writers and artists. That's why so many of the company's biggest names now produce independent comics, despite once being responsible for many Marvel's most iconic stories. Jen Bartel was discovered on social media and later worked for both Marvel and DC. First on promotional tie-ins and later with jaw-dropping cover art. Perhaps best known for the main cover artist on Rainbow Rowell's She-Hulk run, Bartel, who was employed as a freelancer, also redesigned Captain Marvel's costume for her comic relaunch last year. She also created Blackbird for Image with Sam Humphries and won 2 Eisner Awards for working as a cover artist in 2019 and 2022. For those wondering why she's no longer illustrating covers for Marvel Comics, Bartel set the record straight with a series of X posts calling out Marvel Comics for a way of doing things. It started when the artist took issue with her work being sold as Marvel Snap cards for upwards of $100, something she doesn't see a penny from. Bartel was nominated for 2 more Eisner Awards for Best Cover Artist for her She-Hulk work. As you might expect, her Marvel Comics departure boiled down to money or lack thereof. The very few times I even asked for a small pay raise over the 4-year period, the answer was no. What would you do if your employer never gave you even a modest salary bump in nearly half a decade? While Bartel faced the expected criticism for signing a contract and knowing that what she was getting into, the artist responded to fans, explaining her position and challenges faced by artists in the comic book industry. Yeah, so
Tough. That's just it's tough.
So, quote, it's actually because we have perfectly legal because we have to sign overall rights on any licensed art we make for Megacorps who own these characters, but it's definitely not ethical to shaft artists like this. Some companies like Mondo, rest in peace, paid us for usage even when they didn't have to. They don't legally have to because we artists don't own the rights to any official work we've done for these companies, but it would go a long way to extend us some goodwill considering they promote these very rare variants explicitly using our names and create a recognizability. Imagine if these artists who actually made the art, they make millions of dollars off, even got to see a fraction of percentage of that. A cover I might have been paid $800 for will now go on to make them 100 times that amount, and they will never send me an additional dime. Yeah, so Marvel Snap is a mobile game.
Mobile game, yeah.
Card game.
Yeah,
I
card
didn't
collecting,
like,
I guess.
I play it once in a while, but I've never spent money on it because I usually don't do that.
God, no.
But I didn't know like there were cards in there going for $100, which is digital. It's not even a real thing. It's a digital card.
Correct, and it's only in the game, right? So it's like it is essentially a microtransaction. Like there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's exactly what it is. And I mean, I don't want to say they're targeting kids, but I mean,
well, I don't know about that.
I mean, come on, it's not hard to see.
Yeah,
it's not great. It's not great all around.
Well, you're an artist. Money, you like to get paid for your photography, yes, if it's being used without your license, correct?
Yeah. That was.
Although you own that photo and they don't own the character, so I can see where the clash would come. I know some shops have unionized. Some comic book shops have unionized, including some visual effects from Marvel Studios.
Of course.
I feel like if corporations don't smarten up, it's gonna end up that way, where all comic book artists have like the same as SAG or the Screen Actors Guild, right? Or the Screen Writers Guild, like artists are going to be a union, and then they're going to put that stuff in the binding contract that if you sell a digital piece of my art, I get this percentage from what you
Right.
make. Now, there'll certainly be some fuckery in the back end, like film studios do, where Lord of the Rings
There's
never
so
made
much
any money.
fuckery.
But this is why collective bargaining is essential to
Yes.
workers' rights.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's it for. Oh my god, it's 35 minutes. That's it for Marvel News of the Week. Luckily, the other two are shorter because no one's talking about those things. Okay, thanks.
Stop it.